Hi, today we are going to take a look at this last module, the cabin configuration module. There is a sub-D 15 connector. It is called cabin configuration and test module. This is a very nice construction. So we have two main circuit boards here. We can see here the LCD display. We have here two voltage regulators. The footprint of this capacitor is a little bit large, considering the actual size of this capacitor. I cannot read the part number of this IC. This is the 4 lines of 20 characters LCD. You can see there is a bodge here. There is a micro from Siemens. Looks like Sirius processor. Clock frequency 4.9152 MHz. And here we have the EEPROM, which contains the code. We have an SRAM, 8 kilobytes. This one is probably used to store some parameters. We have some blue logic here. So this is a microprocessor board. The first one is a power supply board and maybe some interface. So I think it will be very difficult to do something. Now we can see here the reverse engineering of the interface board. We can see here the 4 switches. This is the 4 keys on the bottom here. We can see 4 pull-ups here. Each pull-up is connected to the sub-D connector. This case can be invalidated by the test mode button here, this one. In that case, the return line here is open, and we can see that we have 3 optocouplers here. And we can see that in test mode, the optocouplers here are connected to ground. These 4 lines are connected to the microcontroller. Otherwise, there is a small power supply, plus 5 volts and minus 5 volts. And we can see that the current is limited by this current source, approximately 10 milliamp. That system, there is a UART interface, and this circuit permits to generate a voltage between minus 5 to plus 5 volts approximately. And we have here the circuit for the reception of the RS-232. There is a transistor here which permits to invert the signal, and 2 inverters in cascade with the Schmitt trigger input. I have connected the RS-232 output to this oscilloscope which permits to have decoding. Let's turn on the power supply. On the screen there is a code here corresponding to the configuration ID. And we can see also an error message, no response from CMU. We can see effectively that a message is transmitted by this unit, and this unit is waiting for a response during a given time, a few seconds. The message starts by 3A, and we have several datas here. At the end we have a carriage return, 0D, and at the end here we have 6C. I have tested with different messages, and actually this is a checksum, or this is the low byte of a 16 bits checksum, which is the sum of the 5 characters in between here. So this message starts here with 1C up to AA. So there is also a message when you press a key, for example menu select here. You can see so the code is here. So this one 42 corresponds to the ASCII code B. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 4A, and 4B. And there is also a code when a key is pressed or depressed. So here we have 4E, and here 6E. 52, 72, 53, 73, and so on. It is more or less everything I can do with this device. I did a dump of the EEPROM, but unfortunately I didn't find any disassembler corresponding to this specific microcontroller. I found a C compiler, I found an assembler, but I didn't find any disassembler for this microcontroller. But maybe this thing is only a simple monitor, I don't know exactly. And that's all for this cabin configuration module. Thank you for watching, see you next time for another video. Bye bye.